If the road test isolated the ride disturbance to the drive wheels, that is, the rear wheels on a C-body car or the front wheels of an Eldorado, the shop diagnosis procedure is slightly different, as the wheels must be spun by the engine. To pinpoint the offending wheel tire assembly, the drive wheels must be spun one at a time. On cars with the standard differential, this is accomplished by lowering one wheel to the floor. But if the car is equipped with a controlled differential, the opposite wheel must be removed, as both drive axles will spin with the car raised. After marking and removing the wheel, make sure that the brake drum is retained by this cap screw. If the cap screw is missing, reinstall one or two of the wheel lug nuts to hold the brake drum in place. To spin the wheels, start the engine, place the transmission in drive, and slowly accelerate until the vibration speed is reached. On cars with a standard differential, do not exceed 40 miles per hour on the speedometer, as this is 80 miles per hour at the wheel. By spin testing both drive wheels in the same manner, an unbalanced wheel and tire assembly can usually be isolated. But if run-out or stiff spots are the problem, the offending assembly will not cause any roughness or vibration, as there is no load against the tire. In this case, it will be necessary to check the tires of both drive wheels for excessive radial and lateral run-out with a dial indicator. To check radial run-out, set the dial indicator against the outer tread rib. Reset the indicator dial to 50 and mark a starting point on the tire tread with crayon or chalk. To measure the radial run-out, turn the wheel slowly by hand and observe and record the highest and lowest indicator readings that result from one full turn of the wheel. It is not necessary to mark the tire where the high and low readings occur. To determine the total radial run-out, subtract the lowest reading obtained from the highest reading. For example, if the high reading was 80 and the low reading 35, the total radial run-out for the wheel tire assembly would be 45 thousandths. Lateral run-out is checked in essentially the same manner, except that the dial indicator is run against the sidewall of the tire. Here again, the total lateral run-out is the difference between the highest and lowest readings obtained. Attach these readings to the repair order. By checking the run-outs of both drive wheels, the wheel and tire assembly creating the ride disturbance will be isolated, for its radial or lateral run-out will usually be well in excess of these limits. Once the offending wheel tire assembly is found, it should be removed from the car and re-indexed on the wheel 180 degrees from its original position. After the tire is turned and remounted on the wheel tire assembly must be statically and dynamically balanced. If the wheel balancing is performed on the car, the opposite wheel must again be blocked or removed during the spinning operation. Following the isolation and correction of all wheel and tire assemblies that caused vibration in spin testing or were found to be out of limits by dial indicating the tires, the car should be road tested to evaluate the correction. During the road test, the most critical evaluation should be made at the same speed where the original roughness or vibration was most pronounced. But in addition, the car should be thoroughly checked at higher and lower speeds. Although re-indexing and rebalancing nearly always results in an acceptably smooth ride, in some cases, an objectionable vibration level may remain after wheel tire corrections have been performed. If this is encountered, check the radial and lateral run-out of the reworked wheel to determine whether it is the wheel or the tire that is still creating the problem. As illustrated, radial run-out of the wheel is measured at the bead seat, while lateral run-out is checked at the wheel flange. If either run-out is excessive, the wheel must be replaced. But if wheel run-outs are within limits, the tire must be the cause of the ride disturbance. For adjustment and replacement, complete wheel tire run-out measurements before and after indexing should be furnished. As we have seen, through the application of new technology and new highly sophisticated equipment, All Cadillac wheels and tires used in production since early February have been qualified to critically high standards to assure the ultimate in smooth road ride quality. And we have also seen that if ride disturbances are encountered on earlier cars, the source of these complaints can usually be diagnosed, isolated, and corrected to an acceptable level. This is important, for through the years, the Cadillac Ride has been traditionally acclaimed as the most comfortable and the most completely luxurious in the fine car field. And this is a tradition that must be maintained.